Hello and welcome. My name is Paweł Piwosz and you are listening to Last Week in IT, the weekly podcast. Together with my fantastic co-hosts Jakub Siwiecki and Jan Mazurek, we'll give you our perspectives on recent news, events, announcements and many more. And we do it in our own style. Join us and enjoy the show. Houston, this is Apollo 13, or maybe not. It's 13th episode of our podcast today, and we have some troubles recording that already. But anyway, we try very hard. In this 13th episode, we want to discuss, or I want to discuss with you, I would say even hot topic maybe, or the topic which can bring some arguments to our discussion. If you remember, a few episodes ago, it was one of the first of our episodes, I mentioned that we in IT are spoiled. What I mean by that? It's reasonably easy today to have a job in IT. Of course, not in every single area of IT, but generally speaking. Developers can find a job very quickly. DevOps can find a job very quickly. And we are bombarded some days even by TAs looking for new candidates, new people to join their companies. All of this, with all of those benefits, with all of this kind of reasonably high salaries, we sometimes behave kind of strangely. This is why I say we in IT, we are spoiled. What is your opinion?
Well, I would ask, what do you mean by strangely first?
Well, so,
like, whoa, like, what kind of strangely it is?
This will be a specific way of being strange, and I would not refer this as what I meant. What I mean, for example, we behave in not polite way to others. Let's say, for example, for TAs, right? How many times you receive an email from TA where the person behind this email just did simple mistake with technology,
Okay,
with
but
probably
you
your
say,
name or something like that. We
okay,
behave very, what you do, learn your stuff and go away, right?
but you're saying like like, do you
We in
behave in
IT.
such way? Okay, we in IT. Okay, like, so, but you guys, like, first, Pavel, do you behave in such way?
No, never.
Okay,
And
okay,
I'm,
okay,
I'm
and
laughing with these situations, and sometimes I prefer to not answer because sometimes I feel that there is no proper answer to give. If sometimes I receive the offers for development, for example, for being a developer in some specific language, so sometimes I ask, so what I should do, what I should fix in my profile to just stop receiving emails like that. I don't know if this is polite enough or not. Sometimes, there are mistakes with the names, but
okay,
it may
but
happen.
I would like to as well receive the answer from Jan. Do you behave in such way?
No, however, I was like wondering, and I wanted to ask a follow-up question to both of you guys. When you are approached by TA, and for those of the listeners who don't know what TA is, we refer to it as talent acquisition specialists. So those are the people who are, well, hunting for good candidates, let's say, or good talents to join the company. So when you receive an offer from the talent acquisition specialists to take part in the recruitment for any position, even if it's aligned with your profile, do you reply to that message saying, no, thank you, I'm not interested? Do you let it hang? What's your response?
Yes, I respond.
I do the same. I always reply.
I heard from a couple of colleagues who are working in the TA departments that, like Pavel, like you mentioned, that sometimes people don't reply or they question the competency of the specialists, recruitment specialists, whether they are really the right people to have the conversation about certain, skill. Why do you want to talk to me about Java if you are just a headhunter and I am the master of the universe, being the best IT programmer in the world, right?
Hey, come on. When I was doing talent acquisition job, so recruitment, not for IT, mostly back then, I remember people were not replying. Many people. It was like nothing. Even worse, they could agree with you. They could answer. They could agree with you to come at, let's say, Friday 10 a.m. And guess what happened? Friday 10 a.m. Even Friday 10 a.m. like quarter past 10 a.m. No one showed, and you don't receive any kind of information. So should I say that this kind of group is spoiled, or maybe just this person behaved in rude way? I would
Uh,
say this person. That's it,
yeah,
right?
but did you receive any response like, "Hey, idiot, why do you asking me to be a constructor of the bridges when I am constructing, I don't know, some
Railroad.
or something like that, right?"
Maybe not about construction, but yes, nasty words, the same,
Okay.
the same. Of course, I cannot compare the frequency, but like, I would say this is like statistic. You can always meet someone who's just like either having a really bad day, and you're another person who just like piss off, right? And you want to ventilate, and you're just like, okay, let's do this with this I don't know, recruiter or something. Either the person is just rude, and that's all.
Yeah, but there is like this nice statement that it's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice. And I think in general, and I'm not only referring only to the IT world, but I think niceness has become a commodity that is not often seen in the world. Especially referring now to the IT world, I hear a lot of stories and a lot of situations from various different companies on the market that, you know, the atmosphere over there is those people are quite demanding of the conditions, they are quite demanding of the salaries, they are quite demanding of the benefits, and they have a long list of expectations that, for people working outside of the IT industry is not necessarily, achievable. Now, I work in the IT industry for the almost 20 years now, and when I look at my mom and when I look at the effort she went through as a teacher, and when I compare her salary and her impact on the world, and she was not only a teacher, she's also, while she was active as a professional, she was writing books for kids, she was teaching other teachers how to become better, she was organizing conferences and doing public speaking. And if there was anything that could be achieved in the educational world, the only thing that she did not achieve is that she didn't become the Ministry of Education.
Good for her.
Uh, yeah, probably. But seeing her salary and seeing my salary, I see a very big disproportion, and that's why for me it makes me very humble, and it makes me very grateful for the opportunity that I have received and for the work that I'm able to do. Now, a lot of people whom I came across working in the IT industry, they don't find that appreciation. And loyalty amongst employees at the moment is again another commodity that is not often to be found. Now, in Poland, it is identified that you are a loyal employee if you've been working 5 years for the same company, right? But there is a lot of people who are, as we call them, jumpers. 1 year here, 6 months there, 9 months there, just to get as high salary and as high valuable benefits as there possibly can be.
And
Yeah,
is it bad? Sorry, just like it
From
sounds
the
like you're
from the
judging.
business point of view, it is bad because there is always a learning curve and there is always an investment that is being put into the employee to educate them, to teach them the ways of working of the company.
And what if you're the business that you receive this jumper, and this is, let's say, the sixth jump, and he's bringing a lot of experience because he jumped from previous, he brought it from different companies. I think it's very complicated. Of course, but can you just imagine one company where you have people who started working over there 30 years ago and no one left? I think like it's not good to business for a business as well. I don't know all the motivations that stands behind such decision for person, so I would not be so judgmental. And this proportion, I believe it is everywhere. If you think about, for instance, football players, the Polish football player, let's say Lewandowski, if you think about how much he earns, comparing to probably your earnings, I bet, I bet that there is some kind of disproportion. But he has this kind of skills. The market is saying we want you, we want to hire you, and they are ready to pay for this. So why not to agree with, like, okay, let him do the business with anyone who will pay this money, right? So I think for all the employees, all kinds of industries, IT or any other industry, if the situation is looks like in this way, that people can move between companies, they can ask for some benefits, and they can look for something that is good for them, then well, they law to choose. Up till the moment there is this kind of possibility.
I wanted to say when you mentioned football players, I wanted to say panem and circenses. So like bread and games, right, from ancient Rome. But I will not say that. I said it. Anyway, what I meant is that you know there are different levels on which we can see people, right? For us, is unbelievable how much Lewandowski and other football players earn, right? For people who are teachers, who are janitors, it's unbelievable how much we earn.
True. Though I very much like the quote from the movie Goal that those people who are footballers who earn these high salaries, there is the quote that they are just one tackle away from selling burgers, meaning that they have developed their entire life to improve the skill that they have in playing football, right? And there are examples, like I don't know whether you know Alessandro Del Piero, Italian footballer who, while playing football on the top European level or even top world level, he still managed to finish the university in history of art. But there aren't that many people dedicated to sport. The Klitschko brothers, who actually both of them have PhDs, right?
Yes.
So that's also an interesting case that you can combine the sport with education. However, there are people who really sacrifice a lot of. I think also Shaquille O'Neal has a PhD, surprisingly.
Yeah, he has big head, so a lot of knowledge can be there. I mean, well, we can say, all right. So being a professional sports person is a tricky business, right? Because the injury can come from nowhere immediately, and you're done. Saying that, having a lot of time and a lot of effort to train your skills and then be on some level, on some top level, yeah, okay, you should have some money, right? And here is quite of similar. Okay, we cannot be, I don't know, injured by keyboard or by the display. Who knows? Anyway, um,
Well, carpal tunnel syndrome for the wrist, right, or the strain on the back that you have. That's
yeah, of course. But there is also this learning process behind this, because it's not that easy. You're just banging into keyboard and everything is done for you. No, you need to have some knowledge. You need to have some skills. We talked about that. It's not like it comes in when you sleep. It is year by year, day by day learning process, and you still every single day need to improve your skills to be on specific level, because technology today is not just going fast, it's running.
Guys, I let me bring another example. Today I had a conversation with a colleague. He has a company from IT industry, and he told me how much he needed to pay to do reconstruction of his bedroom, and he concluded it with, "I have doubts. Am I in the proper industry?" Of course, if you think about earnings, right?
Yeah.
So I would say that, and when I think about people who do this kind of job, they do construction in house, outside, building, and so on. I believe they needed as well to bring to pay for their experience to be able to do the stuff properly. Probably as well in this industry we can find people who are just faking, right? They will come,
Oh
they
yes.
won't finish, they will disappear, they will take your money. So those people who are rude, completely like bringing a mess to your life and to your house and not doing the properly job. And I think, because I have a feeling that our conversation is leading into that the spoiled group means that IT industry earns a lot. And I don't believe that this is the main clue.
It's
I
it's
believe
not it's not only about
let me just
that.
finish that.
Mhm.
I believe it's about rather things that like we partially moved. That some people they behave in rude way. They don't reply. They behave nasty, and so on. Probably the list is quite long. Or maybe they behave not loyal. They are not loyal to the company. And I believe it's just like a normal statistic. It's not only the industry. It's a generalization. Some people they are fine, and some people they are not fine. And the same with people from construction or probably some other industry that we can
But
find.
the thing is, I have a colleague who is working in the events department, organizing lots of interesting entertainment for employees in the IT company in the south of Poland. And she mentioned to me that she is now afraid of organizing an event on any kind of a topic because every now and then there are people who are providing a very negative feedback. Like, for example, the muffins are not gluten free, or there is not enough of I don't know seats to sit down while having the company picnic, or whatever, right?
Okay, let me bring one feedback that I remember from the life of being a trainer, not IT industry. uh, and the whole feedback about the training itself. Let me try to paraphrase this. Trainer was wearing 2 days in row the same trousers, exactly 2 days in row the same trousers, and all the evaluation was like 1 1 1 1. Hey, you can meet this kind of people as well everywhere,
That's true.
and
However,
this is a
what we
generalization, I would
what
say.
we are what we are trying to say with Pavel, I guess, if I understand you correctly, is that for some reason you find them more often in the IT industry.
Is it because you're from IT industry, guys?
Uh, okay, potentially.
Maybe.
However,
Maybe.
what
Right?
I would like to go one step further, and I would like to say that maybe it's similar proportion of people like that in other industries as well. However, I believe that the people who I come across, maybe not necessarily in the closest circle of mine, but of what I hear and what kind of feedback reaches reaches me, is that there is really a large group of people, and potentially it might be even a majority of the specialists, who not necessarily represent the right social aspect of working in a group. And that's also something that we discussed many episodes ago. That some, probably you've mentioned that you would like to, in the past you thought you would like to work in the basement only
Yeah.
with servers, no people, right?
Yeah.
Turns out, it's not the possibility anymore. And working in the IT industry, we are working as part of something bigger, and we are working as part of the bigger groups. But I like the quote from Bob Marley when he said about the greatness of a person, that it's not about how much money you have, but how you impact those people who are around you positively. And one of the managers I came across many years ago said an interesting statement that a wise person always tries their best to inspire others around them, but at the same time always doubt themselves whether they are capable of doing the right job. And very much that quote stick with me, and I think that's something that I know I strive to do. I try to be a positive force to the people around me.
Yeah, and I completely agree with you. And you know what? As we are just on time, I think, and I have the privilege to finish this episode with defending myself, saying that we people in IT, not we, but generally we people in IT should be more humble, because very often we are not, and maybe not we here, you, Yashu, you, Kuba, maybe me, but I believe we met a lot of people who should think about that, at least very, very strongly, sometimes even. So, with this bombshell, we finish 13th episode finally after some tries before. And thank you very much, guys, for sharing your thoughts about this. So we agreed to disagree on this topic, I believe, and see you next time.
Take
Let's
care,
be
everyone.
humble. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
And that's it for today. This was Last Week in IT. Thank you for listening, and please join us for the next episode. Follow us on social media, subscribe and comment. If you agree, disagree, or just want to say hello, we are waiting for you. Stay tuned, stay IT.